In the late 15th century, European nations were ardently seeking new trade routes to Asia, primarily to tap into the lucrative spice trade. Traditional overland routes like the Silk Road had become challenging due to the Ottoman Empire's dominance over key portions of these paths. Amidst this fervor, Christopher Columbus, an Italian navigator born in Genoa in 1451, proposed an audacious plan to reach Asia by sailing westwards across the Atlantic. After facing numerous rejections from European monarchs, Columbus eventually won the support of Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II of Spain. They provided him with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina, for his voyage. On August 3, 1492, Columbus set sail from the port of Palos. Weeks passed, and anxiety grew among his crew as they sailed deeper into the uncharted waters. Finally, on October 12, 1492, land was sighted. They had reached an island in the Bahamas, named San Salvador by Columbus, who believed he had found islands off the coast of Asia. During this voyage, Columbus explored several Caribbean islands, including parts of present-day Cuba and Hispaniola, encountering the indigenous Taino people. Unaware of the true nature of his discovery, Columbus called them Indians, thinking he had reached the East Indies. Though he never set foot on the North or South American mainland during this first voyage, his expedition marked the beginning of lasting contact between Europe and the Americas. In early 1493, Columbus returned to Spain with samples of gold, exotic plants, and several indigenous peoples. He was celebrated as a hero, and his reports spurred further expeditions by the Spanish. Columbus undertook 3 more voyages to the New World in 1493, 1498, and 1502, still convinced that he had reached the outskirts of Asia. One of the most significant outcomes of Columbus's voyages was the Columbian Exchange. This was the extensive exchange of plants, animals, cultures, human populations, including slaves, technology, and ideas between the Americas, West Africa, and Europe following his expeditions. Crops such as maize, potatoes, and cocoa were introduced to Europe, while horses, cattle, and sugarcane made their way to the Americas. However, the exchange also brought diseases like smallpox, which devastated indigenous populations. Columbus's voyages had profound and often dire consequences for the native peoples of the Americas. European settlers and conquerors brought diseases to which the indigenous populations had no immunity, leading to catastrophic declines in their numbers. Furthermore, the colonization process resulted in the exploitation and destruction of many native cultures through forced labor and violence. Columbus's legacy is multifaceted. For centuries, he was celebrated as a pioneering explorer who discovered the New World and initiated European expansion. However, modern perspectives also recognize the dark aspects of his voyages, including the onset of colonial exploitation and the suffering of Native American populations. Despite his early triumphs, Columbus's later years were marked by discontent and conflict. After his second voyage, disputes over governance and riches led to his fall from favor at the Spanish court. He was eventually arrested and stripped of his titles, although he was later freed and allowed to undertake his final voyage.